All right, it is Sunday, June 20th, 2025. Time for the weekly debrief. Let's start off with international events. It looks like things are getting a little unstable again in Syria, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise. That part of the world, there's always instability, unless there's some type of a tyrant dictator keeping things in charge, it seems. Well, that's kind of an off-the-cuff statement. I'm thinking Syria with whoever the guy's name was that was ruling it for years, and Iran and Iraq. They seem to be all peaceful, like when somebody like the Ayatollah is in charge or Hussein. But once they go away, then chaos and confusion, and people are fighting each other. And then when one side starts to win, the other side regroups, either joins them or finds another alliance. So it's constant fighting over there. Nothing to be surprised. Of course, other countries are involved in Syria. Israel's openly doing things for their advantage. And, there's a lot of presence of the U.S. over there. So I'm sure there's shady people doing shady things in shady areas over there for our best interests. Not much to worry or be concerned about as far as my perspective. Just one more talking point for the social media influencers to be influencers and say a bunch of shit to get likes and clicks and all that stuff. It's all entertainment for me. Like I said before, I got a dummy Twitter account that I follow. Half my people I follow are the liberal influencers who are constantly shit posting, and the other half are the conservative influencers who are constantly shit posting, and it's kind of comical. It's sad, but it's kind of comical watching their reactions and everything. Which, I stress that a lot, is remember a lot of these sources are just looking for clicks. So just because they're posting stuff that you agree with doesn't mean it's right or accurate, I should say. Nationally, the biggest thing going on is the Epstein files. How, once again, we're not getting the whole details. But at this point, the way the urban legends and everything have gone over the past, how many years have those? It's been since Epstein supposedly hung himself. A lot of urban legend has become fact, and I got a feeling that regardless of what comes out to be and is stated and is accurately the truth, a large percentage of the population won't believe it, regardless of what it is. Seen some interesting theories. A lot of it is that Epstein worked as a spy for the Mossad and or CIA, and that's why everybody's not touching this, because, like I said before, we're all comfortable with shady people doing shady things in shady countries, like the CIA, special forces, that kind of stuff, doing those covert operations. But the blind eye we turn on some of the shady stuff they do, we can't turn away when they're messing with children, right? That's a line too far. So some of the rumors are that's why everything is, each administration, I guess the evidence just says that, yeah, we're not touching this. And of course, everyone's favorite one is who's on the list. There's always what celebrities, what political powerhouses, what former or current presidents are on that list, royalty, that kind of thing. Right now, all the far left influencers are saying obviously Trump's on the list. That's probable. His personality type is the kind that would be on that thing. But, Biden had that list for his whole administration, and You think that would have been leaked, say, after that dismal debate performance, or right after Trump got the RNC nomination, or after being getting felony charges didn't slow down his campaign, or a lot of other times. So if Trump's on that list, which is a good possibility, who else is on that list that the Democrats are not willing to sacrifice to get Trump? Speculation. That's all it is. That's just the thoughts that I have. So how does that affect me? Well, it reminds me that I gotta be diligent on my sources of information and not let familiarity bias and confirmation bias sway me, and take truth through data, analyze it, and make my best decisions. And that's just a good way to go through life. How it could be something that I'd have to prepare for is, well, let's say the truth comes out and there's a lot of powerful people on both sides of the aisle on that list, and chaos and confusion will follow. There's rumors of it's such of a big list that it could collapse the federal government. Don't know if it'll collapse the federal government, but if, say, 25% of Congress is on that list, that's going to shake things up big time. Lots of turmoil across the country, localized protests and civil unrest galore. So if something like that breaks, then it's what I preach here quite often, is avoid where protests might be and where people who gather for a protest who decide to loot might go from that protest. All you can do. I'm doing my part by not getting into fights on social media over my views of what's on that. Doesn't add any value, so keep your head low is my idea. Just stay out of it. You got nothing to gain. And yeah, that's it. Regionally, locally, it's just nothing newsworthy, but I am trying to be less lazy. I've been working on my garden a little more. I got the fence up this weekend. I've been stacking some firewood. I've been cleaning up my yard. Still gotta stain the deck and stuff. Getting my house in order, both literally and figuratively. I shot a video earlier today about my thoughts on China and stuff, and with them most likely invading Taiwan, there's going to be a lot of financial turmoil on the horizon. So it's making sure I'm saving money in the right places for the right things, and I'm making my purchases smartly. I'm buying things that are going to be tools and not toys. Not going after the shiny new just because it's shiny and new, when something that's dull and old will still work just fine. That kind of thing. So that's the thing that I really want to push everybody, is to get your house in line. Do the boring stuff. Boring preps are the real preps. When your preps are boring, you know you're doing the right thing. So there you go. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you next week.